There is a kind of silence that speaks louder than the noise of 1,000 voices. It's the silence of being ignored, not because you've done anything wrong, but because people often don't recognize the worth that isn't loud. You try, you give, you speak from your heart, but the world scrolls past like it doesn't even see you. You send a message, no reply. You show up, no acknowledgement. You do good, and they act like it never happened. This is the weight of invisibility, and yet this is also your greatest opportunity, because this is where the real work begins. Not out there in their opinions, but in here, within you. The Stoics, those warriors of thought, those legends of discipline, didn't wait for the world to cheer for them. They didn't build their strength on applause. They built it on silence, on pain, on being overlooked, on being doubted. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire and still wrote to himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He didn't crave recognition. He craved control over his own soul. Epictetus was born a slave, yet became a master of freedom, freedom from needing the world's approval. That's the essence of Stoicism, the inner fortress, a place no rejection, no insult, no silence can ever shake. When people ignore you, they expect you to fall. They expect you to shrink. They expect you to start questioning yourself. And maybe for a while you do. Maybe you stare at the ceiling some nights, wondering what's wrong with you. Maybe you walk around with heavy steps, carrying invisible wounds. That's okay. You're human. But eventually something inside you clicks. A voice rises. Not a loud one, but a calm, clear whisper that says, "This is where you rise. Not to be seen, but to become." You start showing up for yourself. You begin to train when no one's watching. You read when no one's listening. You build skills, learn control, master your emotions. You take every bit of pain they gave you and shape it into purpose. You stop asking why they don't see you and start asking how deeply you can see yourself. And suddenly, the silence becomes a friend. The solitude becomes a sanctuary. You no longer fear being alone. You crave it, because it's there, in the quiet, where the unshakable version of you begins to form. You walk into rooms not to impress, but to observe. You listen more than you speak. You become a student of life, not a performer for the crowd. The world starts noticing something different. They don't understand it at first, because you're not desperate to be seen anymore. You're not chasing their eyes. You're chasing your own standard. That's rare. That's powerful. And slowly, very slowly, your presence begins to speak even in silence. Not because you demanded attention, but because your discipline echoed, louder than any words ever could. Let them ignore you. Let them call you boring. Let them label you quiet. Let them misunderstand your stillness. Because while they're busy seeking attention, you're building something unshakable. You're becoming someone even you admire in the mirror. Not because you're perfect, but because you're consistent. You're real. You're grounded. The Stoic endures not to prove anything to others, but to prove to himself that he is stronger than his emotions, deeper than his pain, and freer than his past. You're not here to be liked. You're here to grow. You're not here to win every heart. You're here to win your own. Remember, the sun doesn't scream to shine. It just rises. Every single day, no matter who notices. That's what you are now. Unshakable, consistent, calm. Let them ignore your light. It doesn't make you any less radiant. You've stopped living for their attention and started living for your own alignment. And that's rare in this world, rare and powerful. One day they'll look back and wonder how you did it. They'll try to trace your steps, understand your mindset. But they won't find the answer in what you said. They'll find it in what you endured, in what you built in silence. in what you chose not to say, because you weren't trying to win them. You were trying to win peace. And now? Now you walk with it, quietly, powerfully, fully.